Hey there, everybody, and welcome to Cover Wars. I'm your host, aJaX, and with me, as always, is Seth. Seth, how is it going today?
It's going pretty good. How are you?
I'm not too bad. My head hurts a little bit. I was out mowing all day, but I
Ooh.
think I'll I think I'll recuperate. I think I'll recover just nicely. I want to tell everybody, Cover Wars is a weekly podcast where we take a curated playlist of 20 versions of a popular song, and then I find my five favorites of that particular song, and Seth, you find your five favorites of that particular song, and then what we do is we reveal them in descending order from 5 to 1, and then we whittle it down and agree upon a quintessential top three, culminating in the best cover ever of a particular song. Seth, what song are we going to dive into today?
A little song called Nothing Compares to You.
Nothing compares to you. This is going to be a great one. Of course, there's one very obvious one that kind of sticks out and it's on everybody's mind. And in some cases, in most cases, in fact, for a lot of people, they don't know that this is a cover. They only know this version of the song, and that version, of course, is the Sinéad O'Connor version, which I'm sure we'll get way more into as this episode goes along. But Seth, for you, where did you first hear that song? Do you remember hearing Prince's version first, or which one was it?
So I remember Sinead O'Connor's version first, and then as I dove into the song, I got to learn that it was written by Prince. And I have to say, Prince wrote an amazing song that just holds true. Like all these 20 covers that we were dealing with were outstanding and a truly amazing piece of work of art. And each of them of the songs had something special to add. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm the same. I did not know that Prince wrote this initially until years later, as a kid growing up hearing it on the radio, and then in my teen years, and then even into my like 20s. Maybe it was somewhere in the 2000s that I picked up on, oh yeah, Prince wrote that. And then, it's one of those secret things you keep from people, and then you tell them when when they're like, I love that song that Sinead O'Connor wrote called Nothing Compares to You. Oh, well, actually, she didn't write. Did you know? You have that little trivia thing in your head. But yeah, I didn't know either until I found out, like everyone else. So let's go ahead and dive into the song real quick. So Nothing Compares to You. It's written by Prince for his band, The Family. Now, this I did not know, that The Family, which this album first appeared on their only album, a self-titled album released in 1985. They later reformed as a different band in 2011 called F Deluxe. But The Family did not even release the song as a single. Their only two singles from that original album were forgotten tracks called The Screams of Passion and High Fashion. So didn't even release the song Nothing Compares to You as a single. So Prince's version of the song was buried in 1985 until Irish singer-songwriter Sinead O'Connor recorded a version for her second studio album entitled I Do Not Want What I Haven't Got. And it was released as the second single from that album in early 1990 and instantly became a smash hit and then a global smash hit. Her video, the music video, was directed by John Mayberry and received heavy rotation on MTV. And Billboard named Nothing Compares to You the #1 world single of 1990 at its first Billboard Music Awards. So that was the first Billboard Music Awards, was in 1990 also. So this was a big deal. The song itself was also ranked #3 in the U.S. for the entirety of the 1990 year. And so some other versions from Prince, too, after the fact, after Sinead's big blockbuster global smash hit. 1993, Prince released a live version of Nothing Compares to You with Rosie Gaines on guest vocals for his compilation album, The Hits and the B-Sides. His 1984 demo was released as a single in 2018 and included on the 2019 compilation called Originals. So, did you ever remember seeing Sinead O'Connor's video on MTV?
Yes. Oh, yes. It was pretty big. Yes.
Was there anything that stuck out to you about the video itself?
I mean, we can get into it later. I mean,
Well, I have a feeling we'll be talking more and more about it. Yeah.
But to me, the vocals is what's haunting. I mean, it's just a very passionate version.
Yeah, well, the video itself, the thing that struck me immediately, especially as a kid, was her hairstyle, which was like a buzz cut, and just very interesting to see. At the time, I'm like a 10-year-old kid. I'm like, why is that lady bald? Like one of those things. It was her vocals are striking, haunting sound, and yeah, we will get into it later, but just an incredible song. So Prince, let's talk about Prince a little bit more. Of course, he's one of the most prolific performers of all time, one of the best guitar players of all time, one of the most influential musicians of his generation, not to mention his vocal acrobatics, which included a far-reaching falsetto, high-pitched screams, and it wasn't just his guitar work, though. He is known to be a multi-instrumentalist. All or most of the instruments on his recordings is what set him apart, because he wanted to play everything. And in most cases, he did. He also has a wide variety of genres and styles that he included, like funk, disco, R&B, rock, new wave, soul, synth pop, jazz, blues, hip-hop. I mean, he was far-reaching. Prince produced his albums himself, and he pioneered that Minneapolis sound. He's one of those artists, like there's a lot of bands and a lot of artists where you're like, where's this band from? Or where's this artist from? Everybody knew. Everybody knew Prince is from Minneapolis because he let everybody know. And it's just funny, he has that purple. Everybody knows that he's purple. And then the Minnesota Vikings are in purple. I just think that's funny. But let's talk about Prince's version of the song. Were you able to listen to that again as well?
Yes, I listened to a couple versions of it. I really dug it. It is so different than anything I can think of that, like in that field. It's just so unique. And it's not buried in this list, if it, you know what I mean? With the playlist that we have to work with. If anything, it's right on top. So I really enjoyed it. I thought it was, like I said, a work of art.
Yeah, what really struck me immediately when I listened to it again, because I've heard it occasionally, but I had to go back and listen to it because it's not something they play very often. You usually only hear the Sinead O'Connor version. So when I went back and listened to it, I'm like, why did they not choose this as a single? I never even heard the other ones, the Scream of Passion and High Passion for the band The Family. I'd never heard those two songs, but this version should have been a single. And it makes you wonder, what could have happened if he chose this as a single in 1985 and then released it? Would it have taken off? Might not have had the same power as the Sinead version, but, we never know now, do we? So,
yeah.
All right. Would you like to hear some of these lyrics? You want to get into the lyrics of...
Oh, I would love to.
Nothing Compares to You. First of all, it's funny to me. So, if you didn't know that this was a Prince song, one very nice clue that he gives you straight off the bat is the fact that he uses the number two, and the letter U. And Prince does that all the time, like throughout all of his all of his recordings. That's like a Prince staple. So the fact that Sinead O'Connor kept it, and then most versions of the song you still see the number 2 and the letter U. That's a Prince thing. And it's funny because Weird Al points that out in this song, Word Crimes. So I just thought that was funny. But all right, so getting into these lyrics. So the lyrics express an abandoned lover's feelings of longing, and boy, do they ever, as you can fully see. So we're going to start off with this lyric, and this is an interesting one here too. It's been 7 hours and 15 days. Now Prince, in Prince's version, he says 13 days, which is interesting. So it's been 7 hours and 13 days, or 7 hours and 15 days in the Sinead version. So, Seth, when you're giving somebody a time frame, do you usually list the hours before the days, or do you usually list the days before the hours?
I would reverse it, yeah.
So, my thing here is that it shows that longing because of how specific it is. and how detailed it is, and how that person's just dwelling on the fact that, okay, it's been 7 hours, it's been 15 days. And naturally, it flows a little bit better. Since you took your love away, I go out every night and sleep all day. Since you took your love away. So we're, again, the dwelling on the, this person left this person. Since you've been gone, I can do whatever I want. I can see whoever I choose. I can eat my dinner in a fancy restaurant. And then in the Prince version, he adds an "oh yeah." And then, but nothing, I said nothing can take away these blues. So he's got all this freedom now. He's on his own. But at the same time, nothing's going to take away the blues, because that person's always there in his mind. And then the chorus, because nothing compares to you. And then in the Prince version, he adds no between the compares and the nothing in the chorus, and then he also says nothing in the background in that Prince version. And I think there's an "oh baby" in the live version of the song too. So second verse, second verse, it says, "It's been so lonely without you here, like a bird without a song." So we get that simile. Nothing can stop these lonely tears from falling, personifying tears. And then the direct, "tell me, baby, where did I go wrong?" So I just love that. And then we go into, "I could put my arms around every girl I see." And of course, girl and boy being interchangeable with the Sinead version and the Prince version. "But they'd only remind me of you. I went to the doctor. Guess what he told me? Guess what he told me? He said, 'Boy, you better try to have fun, no matter what you do.' But he's a fool." So, of course, this is a psychiatrist, not like a physician, like a medical doctor, more of a head doctor, I would assume, right? But then calling him a fool, that's just funny. Then it goes back to the chorus. And then in the Prince version, we get a saxophone solo. But in the Sinead O'Connor version, we get a violin solo. So what I like about this part of the song is that that gives the cover versions room to add their own flair and their own style. And so I really like that. Some of them add something. Some of them do a little something with the part before the bridge, and then others don't do anything and just go right back into the bridge. So it's really a matter of how long you want to make the song. And then the bridge itself, beautiful, beautiful written bridge here. "All the flowers that you planted, mama, in the backyard, all died when you went away. I know that living without you, baby, was sometimes hard, but I'm willing to give it another try." And this is the version where, like the Sinead O'Connor version, where watching her in the video, she has visible tears in her eyes when she is singing this part, and it's very striking. And then, of course, it goes back to the because nothing compares to you. Is there anything that stands out to you in the lyrics?
There's a couple spots. I like the repeating of the lines. Those were really clever, and it's something some songwriters do. I think it really fits this song well.
Right.
It adds to it. And the different versions, I noticed almost every single one of them was slightly different. Like either the timing or how they sang it or what note they sang it at. So I like the variation of it.
That's a good point. I really like the first verse with the where he says, "Since you took your love away," twice. Once after the first line, once after the second line, because it's so easy as a songwriter to just go, "I know something that rhymes with away." Like I can put something else here. But I really think it drives the point home a little further, and it really provides a good template for the rest of the song. So I like that you pointed that out. That's good.
And then guess what you told me, guess what you told me, guess what you told me. I love that part.
Really well. The doctor.
Very well done. Yeah, very well done. Writing-wise.
And it is funny. There's psychiatry, like a lot of that was very popular in the 80s. Like a lot of songs had that in there. It's just funny. And that he puts that part in there too. So, but it makes a lot of sense, because when you're going through a breakup, obviously you want to talk to somebody. It's good to have a shoulder to lean on. So that's really good. Are you ready to rank these songs, Seth? Are we ready to get right into the meat and potatoes?
I'm going to do my best, yeah.
Okay, so before we got on here, we were making some predictions. And, last one, I didn't think we were going to have too many similar. I think we ended up with 2. Our first episode we did together, we had 3. I'm going to make a bold prediction here and say we're going to go 4 this time. We're going to have 4 matching. What do you think?
I think 2. So I'm, we'll see, but I'm going to throw a curveball at you to begin with. So.
Oh, no. Well, we'll see if that curveball is one that I'm expecting or if it's one that I'm like, I don't know. All right, so, Seth, without any further ado, Nothing Compares to You by Prince. What is your number 5?
My number 5 version is Aretha Franklin.
Ooh, okay. So a little bit of a curveball. Tell me, why did you enjoy Aretha Franklin's version?
Okay, so Jazz Baby Jazz. I mean, it was a jazz version. I'm a sucker for a great jazz vibe. She just delivered smashing vocals. I mean, it just knocked you out. It was amazing. I really, really enjoyed this version.
Okay. Out of the gate with Aretha, Aretha, legend, Queen of Soul, first female inductee into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We're talking about somebody who is on another level with their vocals and just their overall prowess as a musician, as an artist. But yes, this is a jazz version of the song. I forgot you love jazz, so you're a jazz guy. I forgot that about you.
Yes.
Seth is as eclectic as it gets in musical or music in general. So this was taken from Aretha's 2014 album, Aretha Franklin Sings the Great Divas Classics. And this one she still has almost 11 million monthly listeners on Spotify. Still doing it. Wow. Still being Aretha.
Wow.
I did not love this version of the song, but I'm not a jazz fan. I love Aretha Franklin. I love her soul stuff. I love anything R&B from Aretha. I mean, just the old school vibes. The jazz standard kind of Aretha is not my vibe, but I love that it's your number 5, and that's why I love this show. That's why I love that we can find, some common ground between our differences here. But yes, you did throw a curveball at me, and now I'm not feeling nearly as confident about my 4 of the similars. So we'll see how the rest of this goes. But Steph, I got to ask you, are you ready for my number 5?
I am on the edge of my seat. I'm honestly on the edge of my seat.
Okay, so this one was surprising for me because I don't remember ever hearing this version of the song. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you that my number 5 is Capital Cities version of the song. So Capital Cities, they are I guess you could call them a dance pop, indie pop, synth pop duo from LA, whose hit song Safe and Sound became their only top 10 hit. They have 2 LPs, 5 EPs, and this cover, which was just released last year as a standalone single in May of 2024. I love this version of the song. It's just very inventive. It's very, very different from any of the other versions you hear. I would refer to it as synth-sational. They have these excellent dual vocals in the harmony. It's just a really cool version. And they skip the solo. So we mentioned that Sinead does the violin solo. We mentioned that Prince's version has that sax solo. Capital Cities just skip out on that solo altogether. They extend the intro a little bit. And then the outro, they add trumpets, which is awesome. I was not expecting that. And that just sealed the deal for me when I heard those trumpets at the end. I'm like, this is awesome. I love this. We're going to go with number 5. What did you think of that version?
I liked it. I had a feeling it might be on your top 5 because of the uniqueness of it. And I know we both love unique songs. And so when you have these lists, we're like looking for the differences, not just the similarities. So I was kind of like thinking that might be on either your honorable mentions or in your top 5.
All right. Very good. Very good. Okay. So Seth, tell me, what is your number 4?
Are you ready for this?
I don't know that I am, because you really you really kind of shocked me a little bit with the number 5. And there is another jazz version that's on this list, and I'm hoping it's not number 4, but hey, you know it might be. Let's go for it. What's your number 4?
Well, here's my number 4, and you're not going to be happy because it's Nick Acosta.
It is the other jazz version. Okay. All right. Don't get me wrong. I love me some Nick Acosta. So tell me, aside from it being the jazz version of the song, what did you like the most about her version?
So I thought it was a great interpretation with wonderfully playful sound and chilling vocals. That was just really, really struck me hard, struck a chord with me.
All right, so this is a jazzified version, similar to Aretha's. This comes to you from, and the reason why it's so jazzified is it's from Nika and Strings, Underneath and In Between. This was released as the lead track from this album from 2017. So it was an intentional jazz release. That didn't seal it for me, though. That didn't make me feel any better about it, because I love Nick Acosta. I love her debut album, Everybody's Got Their Something, with that title cut. If you have not heard that song yet, go out and listen to it. It's so good. Everybody's Got Their Something. Great message, too. She still has 157,000 monthly listeners. A great artist, great singer-songwriter, and I just don't like her jazz versions. That's all. So already, are you sure we're going to have at least 2 now? I don't know. But no, I love that you put that on there. And I do love Nick Acosta. But wow, I am kind of shocked that you went 5 and 4, but you're true to yourself. And that's good. You know what you like. And is there anything else you can tell me about this version of the song?
No, honestly, I'm not real familiar with her.
Okay.
I just really dug it. As soon as it came on, I was like, I'm in. I'm sold.
So she also reminds me, like, her bluesier stuff reminds me of, like, Joss Stone when they both came onto the scene, like, around the same time. So I highly recommend her first album, too. So check that out. But yes, so Seth bringing in the jazz at 5 and 4. So here we go with my number 4. So in at number 4, we got another legend here. Another late legend, and that is Chris Cornell. Chris Cornell's version. This version was released a couple different ways, but this actual recording that I gave you, this was live at Sirius XM from 2015. So it was included on a compilation released in December 2020 called No One Sings Like You Anymore, which is taken from a lyric from one of the songs, which is excellent. It was also on a self-titled edition, a deluxe edition compilation released in 2018 on disc 3. And then his daughter, Toni, also recorded a duet with Chris for another version of a song that she released and got a lot of airplay from it. It was really popular. I'm pretty sure it was either taken from the same session or a private recording session. But that version of the song I didn't include on here. I just included his live acoustic version from the Sirius XM sessions. Now, this, I love that acoustic version, that sound. The first verse is okay. The second verse is incredible. And then the bridge is outstanding. The bridge just blows me away in his version. So, Seth, what did you think of my pick at number 4 with Chris Cornell?
I honestly don't blame you. The passion in his vocals, the grit and the feeling. I really dug that version. I think there's quite a few more circling around the internet as well that he recorded. I really dug the acoustic version, and I can't say enough about his vocals.
Yeah, I love how the song just keeps getting better and better. And once it hits that bridge, it's so good. You're just like, wow, this is just amazing. So love Chris Cornell. So let's get into your number 3.
At number 3, I have, it's going to surprise you again, Jon Pardi.
Wow, that that shocks me. Okay, Jon Pardi. Yeah, I think you're going off the rails here a little bit in a very good way. in a very, very good way. So first we have jazz, then we have jazz, and then we have rock country rock. Okay. Tell me why Jon Pardi.
So I'm a big country fan, and I thought he did a phenomenal job with this one. Like you mentioned, he also brings back the saxophone. So I liked this version. It was very unique in the fact that it brought its own thing to the floor. You know, it was completely different than anything else on the list.
I will tell you, I liked it more than I thought I would, because I'm not huge into country, but I did think he did a really, really good job, and I liked the country rock version, and I love the saxophone part, so spot on with that. I didn't like the end of the song where the dialogues, I don't know, he really liked his own version of that song. I mean, he loved his own version of that song. Like, he exclaims at the end of the song just how much he likes it. This is taken from the Rancho Fiesta Sessions from 2020, and that is Jon Pardi, P-A-R-D-I, not P-A-R-T-Y, but most people think if you're a P-A-R-D-I fan, you are a fan of the P-A-R-T-Y as well. So Jon Pardi at number 3. I am shocked and chagrined. And yes, my my 4 out of the 5 matching, that's out the window now. Way out the window. I would love to see 2. We'll see what happens here. Wow. Okay, this is going to be hard to get this top 3 down, but we'll figure it out. So, are you ready for my number 3? Okay.
Oh, yes.
My number 3. Now, I have no bias in here. This was completely coincidental. But when Sinead O'Connor passed away on July 26, 2023, I just so happened to be attending a concert that very day at Great American Ballpark, and that concert was the Pink and Brandi Carlile concert. And they happened to get out on stage and perform the cover of Nothing Compares to You for the very first time together. So, at number 3, I have the live version of Pink and Brandi Carlile's cover of Nothing Compares to You from the Trust Fall.
Nice choice.
Thanks. This is from the Trust Fall Tour Deluxe version released on December 1st, 2023. I mean, just an amazing performance by 2 of the industry's best. It's a beautiful, beautiful tribute of the song, and I will always remember that version. And the version that they recorded for this compilation, I'm not sure exactly which one it was. I don't think it was the one I attended, since it was the first version. But yeah, just a great performance of the song. So what did you think of that one?
I liked it. I liked the soft vocals. They both have very, 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 very smooth vocals, and that brought something to the game that I didn't get from everybody else, all the other interpretations. So I did like that version quite a bit.
Very good. Okay, nice. All right, Seth. So your 5 through 3 have shocked me. You warned me that they would, but I did not think that your 5, 4, and 3 would be those artists. So I gotta ask, what is your number 2?
Take a deep breath. Hold on to something.
Wait, we have a matching one?
Sinead O'Connor.
Oh,
Sinead
my goodness.
O'Connor is my number 2.
Wow. Okay. All right. Wow. So far we have had 0 matching. Okay. Sinead O'Connor at number 2. So, Seth, I've never heard of this version before. So can you tell me something about this version? That it's very rare choice here.
So
Sinead
this
O'Connor's
is
version.
the most iconic version. It is. And the vocals are piercing. You can feel her pain. You can feel it. It's so real. Like you mentioned, even the music video, you can feel her pain. So it's just the intensity and the passion. It's all there, and it's just laid right out on her sleeve.
Seth, did you peek at my notes? Because Feel the Pain is not just a Dinosaur Jr. song. It is exactly what I wrote down in capital letters on my notes, feel the pain, because you feel every ounce of her pain. She has a striking, somber tone. The best part for me, and what I think does it, is about a minute into the song, there's this echo effect that comes in and lays under her vocals almost perfectly. And no other song up until that point, I don't think, has been able to do that. And do that so perfectly. It marries with that effect so well. And then you can tell she's singing from a real place. Like, she has so much hurt in her heart, and she was able to translate that into her song. And so, aside from this cover, most notable for her SNL appearance, which many people recognize as one of the most controversial events in SNL history. We won't get into the details, but that was from a performance of another cover. This one was of Bob Marley's War. But the song, Nothing Compares to You, the cover of Prince's classic, was from her second album, I Do Not Want What I Haven't Got. Well, up until that point, she hadn't had a global smash hit, but she sure as heck got one. So, Sinead O'Connor in at number 2. All right, Seth, are you ready for my number 2?
Oh, yes.
Well, guess what, Seth? My number 2 is not Sinead O'Connor. My number 2 is Stereophonics. Stereophonics are a Welsh punk, or not punk, but Welsh rock group. I just wanted to call them punk. They're punk in the fact that
what's wrong with that?
I mean, they are not. They're not credited nearly as much as they should be. I mean, they're not as big as they should be. This is a group whose vocalist Kelly Jones has one of the greatest voices in rock. And you mentioned the grit earlier from Chris Cornell. I believe Kelly Jones has grit, but he's also got this rasp to him that just sets him apart from so many other artists. Stereophonics are one of my favorite bands. I can't wait to see them in Atlanta at Shaky Knees here next month. This version is from the compilation called One Love, which features some amazing covers. This was put out for NME Magazine's War Child Records, and it was originally from a charity album released in 2002. It finally hit Spotify in 2021. I absolutely love this version. It's one of my favorite. What do you think of the Stereophonics version of Nothing Compares to You?
I really enjoyed it. I also am a big Stereophonics fan. So, when I saw they were on the list, I was like, oh boy, I can't wait to hear this one.
Okay, good. This one versus the Chris Cornell version, they're very similar in tone. The difference, it just being a studio version versus the live effect. So I like the studio acoustic. It's another acoustic guitar set to vocals. And I just love it so much. So before we get into each other's number ones, which so far we have had 0 repeating artists. 0 repeating artists so far. I'm hoping that we might have separate repeatings for number 1, and I'm pretty sure, at least I hope we do, but we'll see. Okay, so Seth, what are 2 or 3 honorable mentions from you?
Well, I've got Stereophonics. I really enjoyed that version. It just didn't feel stereophonic enough for me. It didn't have their own sound to it. I also enjoyed Alice Lamb with her haunting vocals and a wonderful version that was of the classic song.
Okay, good deal. All right, so here are my honorable mentions. One of these honorable mentions shocks me because I've never heard of this artist, and when I saw what soundtrack it came from, I'm like, what? And that is Loni Lovato. So Loni Lovato's version, I thought her vocals were excellent. They're over the synth effect, which it kind of makes it sound a little fake, but also at the same time, it's fabulous. So I really liked it, but it's from the Love Island Complete Fantasy playlist. Mm-hmm. Sure. I don't care. It was good. Another honorable mention I have is Lissy from the EP called Thank You to the Flowers. Love her rendition. It's probably on this list is probably the one that's closest to Sinead O'Connor's version. But I still love it. She has these wispy vocals. I just love it. She has 5 studio albums and 725,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. Highly recommend Lissy. And then at number 3, we'll just add my third one on here is going to be Me First in the Gimme Gimmes, who are punk, who are now Spike in the Gimme Gimmes. I do not agree with that name change, even though I love Spike from Swingin' Utters, who is the lead vocalist of Spike in the Gimme Gimmes. But their version comes from their album Take a Break, released in 2003, and they still have over 400,000 monthly listeners. Great cover band, punk cover band. If you've heard a punk cover version of a song, it might be from Me First in the Gimme Gimmes. Now Spike in the Gimme Gimmes. I want to say Spike first, but it's Spike in the Gimme Gimmes. So, Seth, without any further ado, what is your number 1?
So we're going to have a match.
Really? Okay. All right. I think I know who it is. Okay.
Yeah, but it's not in the order that you would think, so we didn't match towards the top of the list. So we're gonna have some trouble. It's Chris Cornell's version.
Okay. Okay. Good.
Do you want to go into it again, or do you want me to go into it now?
I mean, yeah. Tell me. I mean, I kind of already laid it out, but yes, tell me, please. Why did you like this version so much?
So I just love the grit in his voice. Yeah. It's very unique. His vocal range is ridiculous. I personally believe, like you said with another artist, that Chris Cornell was the greatest rock vocalist of all time. And I feel that way because I grew up on Soundgarden and Audioslave. So that first Audioslave album, he does some vocal acrobatics that are just ridiculous. And I loved his even his version for the James Bond theme was amazing, and Mission Impossible as well. And his rock vocals are, in my opinion, can't be matched.
Well, I would like to echo those sentiments. I love that that's your number 1. Dethroning Sinead O'Connor is not something that's taken lightly or easy to do when we're talking about an iconic song like Nothing Compares to You, where, through your eyes, nothing compares to Chris Cornell's version. I mean, I love Chris Cornell. He is a legend, forever will be. The only band you didn't mention he's part of, that supergroup Temple of Dog, the pre-supergroup with Eddie Vedder, which is just really cool that existed. Like, how do you have a pre-supergroup before your other more famous bands? And then, of course, his solo album, his very first solo album, was really good. He had that song Sun Shower. Sun Shower was such an amazing track. But yeah, I mean, this version of the song is just, it's striking in the fact that it gets better and better as it goes along. That's why, like, the first verse, good, great even. Second verse, amazing, incredible. And then the bridge is just like breathtaking, like absolutely superb. No one could hit some of those notes. Like you said, one of the greatest rock vocalists ever. For your money, the greatest rock vocalist ever. So those are some strong words. And wow, number 1, Chris Cornell for Seth. Okay, Seth, are you ready for my number 1?
I am, and I can read your mind right now.
Wait, you can? You can read my mind? Okay, so what am I thinking? What is number 1? Now, there was a moment where I almost didn't pick this as my number 1. I almost went number 1 Stereophonics, but I had to take a step back and just go, okay, do the violins bother me that much? And then in the end, they don't. I love them, and number 1 is Sinead O'Connor for me. I mean, the passion in her voice is really what does it. The believability, that she is singing from a place of hurt, and you can't really feel that in songs that way and that strongly anymore in music. And whenever a song comes along and you can feel that through the radio or you feel it through the speaker and you just have to stop and listen, that's what the song did for so many people, and it still does today. So that is my number 1. So Seth,
if I could say something real quick, it also
please do.
demands your attention. It demands your attention in a way that most songs do not reach. You hear it, like you said, you have to stop and take notice. It's just such an incredible version. I mean, it's like we both said, it's iconic.
Excellent point. I couldn't say it better. All right, so how are we going to do this top three? We really, I mean, our number one. Go ahead. I'll let you start.
Number one should be Sinead O'Connor. I mean, that just mathematically it makes more sense. It makes more sense.
I almost.
I don't know how we're going to do number three.
Oh no. Okay. Well, this is why I came up with the show. So for this little tension here. So Sinead O'Connor, number one. All right, we'll put a feather in that cap. Number two has to be Chris Cornell, right?
It has to be.
We both have Chris Cornell, 2 and 4. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I would venture to say Stereophonics is in the conversation.
Okay, definitely in the conversation.
It was an honorable mention of mine, and it came in sixth, basically.
Okay, so he was your 6, or they were your. I keep saying Kelly, but yeah. So 6 for you, 2 for me. Almost my number one. I decided not to in the end. So here's my thoughts. So John Party, he did not make anywhere close to my honorable mentions, but I like him. I like it. The dialogue at the end is what killed it for me. If he made a studio version of that song without the dialogue at the end, the saxophone, and then just the rock country vibe, I really like what he did with it. I didn't love it enough to even honorable. And then nothing else from your list. None of the 4 and 5, Nika and Aretha, respectively. They were maybe like in the middle for me. I'm just not a jazz fan. So if you're okay with doing Stereophonics at number 3, I'm more than okay with it. Sound good?
It makes sense. Yeah.
I mean, 6 and 2. All right. So, folks, here we are. We have our top 3. At number 3, Stereophonics. At number 2, Chris Cornell. And the number 1 version, as you may have guessed before we even started this, but it was not a clear winner. It was not a clear winner, but Sinead O'Connor. Still the best version of Nothing Compares to You. All right, Seth, so how do you think we did with that? I think it was fair, right?
This, so far, out of the episodes I've been on, has been the hardest one for me. They were so unique, and they added something to each one that made it just amazing. And so I didn't put it on this list, but there's a couple more, honorable mentions, but I'm not going to go into it. But I just really enjoyed doing this with you and trying to come up with our favorite 3.
Good deal. Yeah, well, great choice. Seth will have the week after. I want to announce what we're going to do for next week, which I have not told Seth yet. Seth, are you ready to hear what we're going to tackle next week on Cover Wars?
I can't wait.
All right. So we've done some songs from the 80s. And then we did this one from 1990, from 1985. So every song's been from the 80s so far. Let's get into this century, okay? Let's get into the 2000s at least with the Killers, Mr. Brightside. So I'm thinking that Mr. Brightside's and what I like about so Seth likes to bring us to the attention of some songs that have some obvious covers, which I love because the conversation is spicy. But there's not really a clear Mr. Brightside cover that comes to mind right away, is there, Seth? No?
I have heard a couple, but it doesn't come to mind. Yeah. Like, I don't know who they are.
Right. So this is gonna be a fun one for next week. All right, Seth. So before we leave, where can our listeners find us? Cover Wars Podcast. Where can they locate us?
You can find us at Cover Wars on YouTube, Facebook, and you can email us at coverwars@podcast@gmail.com.
All right. Thanks, Seth. Hey, thanks for doing this again. And, hey, if you're ever out there and you're all alone and you don't know where to go for songs covered by other artists, but not the original artist, we here at Cover Wars, we got you covered. Thanks again, Seth. Bye, everybody. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.